All right, we got the hood of the car off now, finally. It's over back in this corner. It's really light. I bet this thing only weighs like 20 pounds. Like I could pick it up with one hand if I wanted to, but I don't really want to because, yeah, that's like 20 pounds. We're all good with that on that aspect here. Now, we can take the engine out. Like the only thing stopping us from taking the engine out, power steering lines and a couple grounds. There's like 2 grounds, but yeah. And we could just self-clearance those with the engine hoist. I mean, like, good. I'm gonna throw you guys up on a time lapse so you guys get a chance to see this stuff going on from another perspective, and also makes it a lot easier on me doing this stuff without anything on my head, and also I don't want to use all my GoPro storage up. So we got the engine out of this unit here. Finally, after how long has it been? Oh, I don't have my watch on, but it's been over a week of actively trying to get the motor out. And it's been since I got the car, since probably about 1.5 years ago, realizing that the motor has to come out, that I've been wanting to get this motor out. So it's finally out. Got all the wires disconnected except for these. Got all the hoses disconnected. Came out pretty easy. Had you guys up on a time lapse. It died after I got the motor out and I had to take the flex plate off and put this bracket on the back of it, but I put my phone up there while I was doing that. So right now what I'm going to start doing is cleaning this up. I already did start cleaning it up. You might see a time lapse here in a couple seconds I'm going to throw in of me cleaning this up. I didn't realize that I didn't film after I took the motor out. Like I didn't film something explaining that I just took the motor out. I forgot that I had to record a little segment explaining I took the motor out and I did what I did. So I forgot about that. So it's out. We're gonna start on that here maybe in a couple of days, start taking it apart, or maybe later actually. Maybe later on we'll start taking off these hoses and the drive assemblies in the front here. So maybe we'll start on this here later on. But my main focus today is I just want to start taking off some of these hoses in here and wires and stuff, cleaning them up real good, you know, like giving it a nice clean while this is out, because I'm not going to be able to get to this stuff until it's out next. So I might as well take off as much stuff as I can, clean it up really good, make it look nice and pretty, so that whenever the engine goes back in, it looks like a new car. Let's get to doing that. That's going to take a little while. I'm going to need my shop vac because I'm going to clean up here. I'm going to need my WD-40 degreaser, which by the way does not work very well to get off heavy grease. I've discovered that, as you see in the time lapse, I have to sit there with that toothbrush and just scrub and scrub and scrub and scrub and hope that it gets down to a thin enough layer of grease to where it'll come off, because it doesn't work very good for serious applications like this. I'm gonna throw you guys up on a time lapse here because I only have one GoPro battery, and I have found that the battery life lasts longer on time lapse than it does if it's on my head. So I'm gonna go ahead, put y'all up on a time lapse here, wherever that tripod went, right there, and I'm gonna try and get you some nice angles on me cleaning this up, because I don't really have anything to talk about while I take this stuff apart, and I don't want to just have empty space that I have to cut out anyways. Time lapses are perfect for that. All right, so we got this all cleaned up pretty good. Like, we went through here and I wiped all the grease off of everywhere that I could reach a rag into. So we got all the grease and grime from up here. I used the vacuum to suck all the leaves out from inside of these little crevices here. Down in here, I sucked all the leaves up out of, wiped down as much as I could get a rag down into. That's all I really am focused on, is what I can get a rag to, except for down there, which I'm gonna have to get more like actual aggressive degreaser to be able to get that grease off there, because this is on there and I don't want to sit here for an hour with a toothbrush trying to get to every little crevice and then hosing it out and hoping I got all. I'm just gonna get some gunk sprayed on there and leave it for half hour, 15 minutes. And then we also cleaned all of these off. So I used that degreaser on this. It worked pretty good. I was able to get mostly everything off of these to where they're nice. They feel like new now. They're like clean. So there's no more oil or grease on those. We can put those back on right now. I don't want to leave them off because I'd rather put them back on and not have to worry about losing them or forgetting where they go and having to go back and look at pictures. I'd rather just get them off, put them back on. I have to go and look online because I have to order new O-rings for everything. While I can get to them, I'm gonna order new O-rings for all the power steering lines. So like the O-rings for this, I'm gonna order new ones for. Yeah, I did take this wiring harness off the engine last night, or the night before last, whenever I took the engine out. It's a behemoth right there. But really simple compared to like the new cars. I mean, a lot of people would probably look at that and think, Jesus, why are there so many wires? But it's really simple. Like the new cars, like I seen a picture of an N63 dropped and holy crap, are there so many wires and hoses. But I'm sure that if you work on them, it'd be just like this. Like there's a million wires and hoses and shit, but it's easy to work on to me because I've worked on it so many times and I've looked at it and read so much about it and learned so much about it. So it's easy for me to work on it. I'm sure that if I learned more about N63s and how to work on them, if I had an N63 car or an S63 car, which hopefully here in the future I can get one of those, I would definitely look at it as something easy to work on. Because this one, when I first started working on it, I was like, holy crap, what is all this stuff? This is the most confusing thing I've ever looked at in my life. And then once I started learning about it more and more, because before when I got this car, I knew nothing about BMWs. I didn't even know how to open the hood. We went to the dealership to look at cars and I was like, how do you open the hood? And it was like messing with stuff under there. And I was trying to grab, and he was like, oh, well, it's just a thing, you know, oh, okay. I thought, and even this shows you how much I knew about BMWs. I thought that the only BMW that came with a V8 was the 7 Series and the M5. I thought the E60 M5 had a V8 in it. That's how much I knew about BMWs. All right, Editing Bishop here. I'm cutting this video off right here because I didn't really make an outro until the next day, and at that point I had already started to take the motor apart, and I don't want to drag the video on much longer than this because I feel like 14 minutes or 15 minutes, however long it's going to end up being, is long enough for this. Now please do mind the fan noise in here because it is very hot and my AC isn't working right now. In this video we got a little bit done. We got the engine out. I mean, that's a big step. We got the wiring harness off. That's a big step. We cleaned it up, made it look better. But this video contained a lot of time lapses, which, you know, I don't know if I'm a big fan of, or I don't know if I'm not, but at that point I didn't really know how to record stuff, didn't know how to structure stuff properly. So the best way I knew to get the best content I could get at the time was to do time lapses. So I'm happy now that I did a lot of time lapses because, as you can see, and I know I don't really like it that much, there are a lot of cuts because I would drag sentences on. I would say and but and stuff like that, and it didn't flow right. So I would have to take those words out and cut them, and sometimes it doesn't fit properly, or I have to cut it off because I would drag words on and not finish what I was saying properly. So it's very hard to edit through, but I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I do hope to see you watching the next video, as these are only getting better and I am having a lot more fun making these as the time goes on.
I'm all in. Brody on the line, I'm tapping in. God out here pulling the strings for me. A girl on the line, she feeling me. Preoccupied by the motivation. Put in the time, pay the entry fee. Bro on the rise, yeah, he kinda nice. Inside of my mind, no one's real as me. Lately, life has been gorgeous. Wake up to clear, my eyes hit recorded. Praise up to God, I ain't chasing no. Swinging and miss, got me hitting.